for Trailblazer RV with a detailed construction walkthrough of the KZ Connect SE product. This is for the 2021 KZ Connect SE, and we're going to use this 271 BHK SE, but most of the stuff that we're going to talk about in this video is universal across the whole line of KZ Connect SE. Most of the construction features are the same across the whole line. And what I like to do is kind of work from the ground up, starting right here at the axles and running gear. So you've got standard on the Connect SE is aluminum wheels. Some of the competitors that we go up against, the standard wheel is a steel or maybe an E-coated steel wheel. The benefit to aluminum is not only do they age better, they don't rust and have the corrosion problems that steel wheels do, but they're also lighter, so they'll give you a better towing experience, and they do a better job of dissipating heat. With a steel wheel, if you're doing a lot of driving and specifically using a lot of brakes, that generates a lot of heat, and the aluminum wheel does a lot better job of dissipating that heat to ensure that your brakes work better and age better and everything else. Also, all Connect SEs come from the factory with nitrogen-filled tires. That's what the green valve stem cap indicates. Also, sort of related to running gear, you've got your frame. The frame of a Connect SE is a big part of what separates it from a lot of the competitors out there. This is what they call an NXG frame. It's built by BAL, and the NXG frame uses as little manual welding in the construction process of this frame as possible. Most of the welding is done by computer. It's CNC manufactured frame. It's lighter weight, stronger, and uses huck bolting in most of the connections. So lighter weight, stronger. It's also better corrosion protected than other frames on the market, and features more outriggers to support the frame, or to support the floor outside of the frame rails. This is an outrigger right here. If you look down the frame of a KZ Connect, you'll see an outrigger every 4 feet or so. That's really important to keep from seeing what we see in the industry is that floor can sag over the frame rails after 10, 15 years. It's not something that happens in the warranty period, but proper outriggers from a frame can greatly increase the lifespan of your trailer. A good tie-in there is to the floor itself. KZ Connect SE uses a fir plywood floor. So this floor that you stand on, that the walls sit on, that everything in the trailer sits on, is made of 5/8 fir plywood rather than OSB or rather than the laminated floor that a lot of the competitors use. Now that seems like a small thing, but it's really important if you ever get a water leak in your RV. Ultimately where that moisture can end up is the floor. And a fir plywood floor won't be damaged by moisture like an OSB could, or especially like a laminated floor could if you get your floor starting to delaminate. All of the weight of the walls and the ceiling and everything pushes down on that floor. So the 5/8 fir plywood floor is also stronger, and especially with the additional outriggers on this frame, does a better job of supporting that weight of ultimately the entire trailer. I'd like to talk a little bit about the construction of the sidewalls. These are a laminated sidewall, so it's a whole sandwich of material that goes into the construction of this sidewall. The outside high gloss fiberglass panel, and then there's a thin wood backing that's laminated too, a 1.5 inch thick rigid foam insulation, and then your interior wall panel. And all of those pieces are laminated together. KZ has on their, or in their facility, a separate building where they do all of their laminating. It's a state-of-the-art lamination facility. So in that building, it's temperature controlled, it's humidity controlled. They do both pinch rolling technique and vacuum laminating technique. To ensure that you get a wall that's laminated perfectly every time. You'll see often in the RV industry with typically older RVs, maybe 5 years old and older, you can see walls starting to delaminate where you get a bubble in the wall, or often at the front, the wall is kind of bulging out. That's a delamination, and there's no real repair for that in the industry. So having a properly laminated wall is one of the most important things in the construction of a new travel trailer. I also, while we're up at the front, I kind of like to talk a little bit about storage hardware. Specifically this baggage door. It's a 1-inch thick baggage door compared to most of the competitors' 1/2-inch baggage doors. And that's significant because it doesn't bend like the other doors out there do. So if you've only got one of your 2 latches closed, that door is still making contact all the way around. They also use a automotive rubber seal here to seal the baggage door, rather than you'll see some of the less expensive models out there in the industry using the foam gaskets. So this is an automotive rubber seal, does a good job of sealing up the baggage door. Inside the baggage compartment itself, if you look up here, you'll see more plywood. We talked about the floor already, but a lot of the other key structural areas in Connect SE are made of plywood as well. This is a place where, if you look in a lot of competitors, you would see OSB or a chipboard there. Like the baggage compartments, the windows are also worthy of a little bit of discussion. One of the things that KZ has done for several years on their windows, when they install a window, they use an automotive style foam seal here, rather than just the old style putty or butyl that were sealed there. If you look at a lot of older RVs, and even some newer RVs, after a few years of sun hitting that window frame, you'll see putty pushing out from behind the window. Given enough time, that putty can get brittle or cause leaks. Wouldn't happen in a KZ because they use the automotive foam gasket. Still has a small amount of putty on it, but the majority of this gasket is an automotive foam that will age a lot better than just the typical putty tape that the windows are sealed with. Here around the back of the trailer, all the KZ Connect SEs use the LCI Solid Step. That's a nice feature because the step folds up right into the entry door of the trailer. Sort of some side benefits of that that people don't really think about are what it allows you to do with the floor plan and the axle placement. KZ, when they build a new model, they take great care to make sure that the axles get placed in exactly the right spot to give you proper weight distribution. With a floor plan like this, with the old style of step, that step would have had to have been mounted right here. That would have meant these axles had to be placed not very much further ahead, but about 2 inches further ahead, which can greatly change the weight distribution dynamic of a trailer, and as a result have a big impact on the towability. So that's one nice thing about the LCI Solid Step, is it allows for a little more freedom there to place the axles to ensure proper weight distribution. It also means that there's no step hanging down here behind the axles. So as you're traveling and kicking up road debris and dust and dirt and stuff like that, it's not getting all caked into that step. And it's also a little more aerodynamic, not having that step hanging down below the trailer. Many of the KZ Connect SEs have the outside kitchen. Nice little upgrade to the outside kitchen this year is the addition of the Elite Series grill rather than the typical 2-burner stovetop. So much nicer for cooking than the old style. One of the things that I like to show here at the back of the trailer, we're still working our way up to the roof construction. You look at the back of a lot of trailers and you'll see that that roof is completely flat. Now usually what that means is you're looking at a trailer with a bonded or a laminated roof. So their roof construction is basically the same as their sidewalls, where it's that whole sandwich of material. Well, that works great for a sidewall, but it's not ideal for roof construction. With roof construction, you want to have a sort of a properly tapered roof so that it can support the weight, especially here in Alberta, the weight of the snow that we might get sitting on it over the winter, and also allows the water to drain off. With a flat roof, it sits long enough with enough weight on it, and that flat roof can kind of become a concaved roof. And once that happens, the water's no longer draining off of it, and it's only a matter of time before you have a water leak. So with this nice crowned roof, the water can run off, it can support the weight, and just kind of increase the lifespan of your trailer. The roof material, by the way, for a Connect SE is called Tough Flex. It's a PVC roof material. We still refer to it in the industry as a rubber roof, but it's not actually rubber anymore. The PVC material is a little bit more durable. It carries a 20-year warranty instead of the 10 or 12 warranty that the rubber roof used to have, and it also doesn't chalk like the rubber roofs used to. You would see quite often on an older trailer with a rubber roof, black streaks running down the side of the trailer. That was from the chalking of the rubber roof, and then that sort of chalk dust running down the trailer when the water ran off. So you don't get that with a Tough Flex roof either. And just a note on that 20-year roof warranty, the 20-year warranty on that Tough Flex is on the material only, and that goes for all of these long roof warranties that you see in the RV industry. So just because something has a 10 or a 12 or a 15 or a 20-year warranty on the material, that's not a warranty on the roof itself. You still need to get up there and check your roof seals and stuff, because if you had a roof seal compromised or you tore it on a tree branch or something, that wouldn't be covered by those warranties. But as far as manufacturer defects and product deterioration and stuff, the Tough Flex carries a 20-year material warranty. I also like to talk a little bit about the slide outs on a Connect SE. And sorry, this slide seal is a little dirty, but KZ on all of their products across the board, and this doesn't just go for Connect SE, uses the H seal slide outs. So if you reach in behind the first seal here, you'll find a second seal, and if you can get your fingers in behind that, you'll find a third seal, a bulb seal, that seals up the slide when it's fully extended. So anytime this slide is fully extended or fully retracted, you've got 3 seals making contact, rather than a lot of competitors which just have the bulb seal and a single wiper seal here. So 3 seals making contact instead of 2 means your slide is much less likely to develop a dust leak when you're traveling on a dirt road, or a water leak if you're driving in a rainstorm or camping in a rainstorm. I also like to point out the slide mechanism itself. This is made by BAL as well. It's the NXG slide mechanism, designed to work exclusively with that NXG frame. I don't know if you can see in the video, but those slide rails are actually cambered a little bit to support the weight of the slide. It's a simple electric rack and pinion system, which is proven in the industry to be one of the most reliable slide systems on the market. And these ones require very little maintenance. The only maintenance that the manufacturer recommends is periodically lubricating just the top track that the that the gears turn in, just to keep it moving nicely and to keep it from making excessive amounts of noise. Here around the front, we're going to go back to the pass-through storage compartment again. I like to show that on this side because here you've got really easily mounted access to your water pump. If you're somebody who likes to do their own winterizing, there's 2 screws to remove here to open up this access panel, and this is where you'll find your water pump. It's already got the winterizing siphon kit installed on it, so you can just turn a valve and you can set your jug of antifreeze right here in your storage compartment, turn on your water pump, and pump antifreeze through all of your water lines. At the front of the trailer, Connect SE has an optional front window this year. It's a small cost to upgrade to the front window, and many of our other products also went to a front window for 2021. So most of our Connect SEs we've brought in without for a few of our customers that still prefer no front window. But if it's something that you'd like, we can certainly get any of the Connect SE floor plans with the front window. Here at the Hitch, the power jack is now standard. It has been optional up until fairly recently, but if you use an equalizer hitch, which I would recommend on a 27-foot travel trailer like this for sure, but most any of the Connect SE models, depending on the tow vehicle that you're towing it with, we'd recommend an equalizer hitch, and that power front tongue jack makes it a lot easier to hook up and unhook your equalizer. And the battery disconnect is now standard as well. So that can be really handy to have if you're somebody that stores your RV in a storage lot. When you drop your RV off the storage lot, you can disconnect that battery. That kills all the power from your battery, so your battery won't slowly discharge over time. And that pretty much covers the outside construction features, I think, of the Connect SE. Follow me inside and I'll take you through just a few things inside as well. So here we are inside the 2021 KZ Connect SE. We're in a 271 BHK right now, but this could be any Connect SE. The actual construction features don't really change between the models. A few of the things that I like to point out here with the Connect SE, things like the cabinet doors and cabinetry. These cabinets, you'll notice they're a real wood framed cabinet. The centerpiece is just kind of a insert panel, but the doors themselves are framed with real wood. The cabinet styles themselves are actually real wood as well, people often don't really understand how that works because they are wrapped to give them the grain. It's not a stained wood that you see that grain. It's a wrapped cabinet style, but the material inside there is a lumber core, so it's not an MDF or a particle board. It's a real piece of wood there. Think of it like a 2x4 that's wrapped with a vinyl to give it the wood grain. So good quality cabinets, both doors and cabinet styles. The countertops are what they call a sealed surface countertop. And this is something that's gotten to be quite popular in the RV industry over the last few years, but it's much more durable than the old style of countertops, and the countertops that some of the competitors I think are still using, that use the insert moldings or the edge moldings around the sides. So this is now one continuous piece. There's no breaks or moldings in there, so no places for water to get in and cause damage to the underlying structure or anything like that. It's also lighter weight and just more durable. If you drop something shifted in your cabinets and you open a cabinet door and something drops out on the countertop, it's less likely to cause any damage or anything. And much lighter weight than the previous what we would have considered the upgrade to be, which was solid surface countertops like a Corian or a granite. This is way lighter than that and makes a lot of sense for a lightweight travel trailer like this. Another thing that I like to point out with with Connect SE is how they do their roof panels, or the ceiling panels. So the ceiling panels here are 4x8 sheets. So every 4 feet or so, you have a seam. What you'll see in a lot of competitors is you'll just have 2 panels butted up to each other, brad nailed in place, and then a molding stapled on over top. KZ uses T-molding here, so the panels actually fit right into this molding, and it's the molding itself that's attached to the roof trusses. So you won't ever have a molding hanging down from one side like we see in a lot of other products, and you won't ever have a ceiling panel falling down in this like you can in lots of other RV products. Some other things inside to cover. I always like to show the storage underneath the bed. It's a convenient place to store some things that you might not be using every day, extra bedding, that kind of thing. But more than that, I like to show, again, real plywood here. You'll find real plywood under the bed, under the dinette seats, under the bunk mattresses, in places that a lot of products, if you looked, you would see that chipboard OSB. Connect uses almost exclusively real plywood there. Also like to show the window coverings. A couple of years ago, KZ switched away from the day-night shades to just a single pull-down shade here, but it's a full blackout shade. And nice and easy to use and to manage. The single shade is much less of a service problem for us than the old day-night shades used to be. The day-night shades used to be really bad for fraying these strings, and if you've ever had to restring a day-night shade, you know what a pain in the butt that can be. So these are just as functional and a lot less troublesome down the road. What else for inside? I like to point out how large the windows are in here, and also the prevalence of emergency escape windows. Every Connect SE product has at least 2 emergency escape windows, but most often more than that. Both big windows here in the living area are emergency egress windows, as well as the window in the master bedroom. I think for the most part that covers a lot of the construction features of the 2021 Connect SE product. If you have any construction questions, you can always reach out to us through our website, trailblazerrv.com. And also make sure to check out our top 5 feature videos for some of the different Connect SE floor plans to try and determine what floor plan is best for you.